All right, hola guys, que paso? How's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo. Thank you for tuning in. Let's do just a real quick Bitcoin sort of update on what's going on. We just had a pump, as you can see, where according to my fractal range analysis, what I did was I blended fractal range with Elliott wave principle, and I've got us in a four, coming out of a four after a trap here, which is like what played out about a month ago, February 4th, as you see in this fractal. That's why fractal range analysis is so poignant. Really, it's like a money printer. If you do it right, you play it right, you could write your own checks pretty much in the crypto market, especially after the market makers make a big move and they reveal their poker hand, so to speak, like we just saw with this last pump, this Trump pump here, the second Trump pump, the one with the tweet or whatever you want to call it, the message that was released on Sunday that just sent everything just flying. The market makers right then and there revealed where they are. They're invisible until they move like that. And when they move like that, we can track their footsteps. We can go back and find the fractal that preceded the event. In this case, it was a markup. Go back and track it like we did. If you saw my last video, we found it. We located it. It was February 3rd is where we had the fractal play out like that. And then we can go back and do the Elliott wave. We could reverse engineer it, so to speak. The events leading up to it from this sell-off, this redistribution, and then this Elliott wave down. It's kind of like a zigzag, right? A 535 movement. For those of you who are versed in Elliott wave theory, so we had this redistribution, and then a 5, and then we had this macro ABC coming up where we went through the creek. Now the creek is I went ahead and did I anchored the VWAP to the top of this before we had the sell-off right above. You see all the price action in this redistribution happened beneath the anchored VWAP or beneath the ice. Now when the price action at the bottom of this 5 on this B, when it shot up through the C, halfway through the C wave as it marked up, went through the anchored VWAP, and we call that jumping over the creek or jumping the creek. And so it jumps the creek when it goes up, and then it falls through the ice when it comes down. So it jumped the creek. And this was, like I said, this played out about a month ago. And so fast forward to Sunday, we had, this is how it played out on Sunday. You see, we anchored the VWAP to the source, same area here. We had this flat line kind of redistribution area that took place beneath the anchored VWAP, and then we had a 5 wave. We had a 5 Elliott coming down, and then this was more delineated, though. This was more sharp. The actual inverted head and shoulders is more discernible than here, but I can see it. But that's because I've studied charts for thousands and thousands of hours, so this stuff just kind of jumps out at me. That's how I'm able to find these fractals. And the same thing will happen to you if you put time into it. As much time as you devote to it, the more you'll get out of it. And it's just how badly do you want to learn this stuff, and dedicate the time required to learn it. And so that's all that is. So it shot up through the creek, and then we topped out here. We had a double top, and like I talked about, this was a horn top. We saw this playing out, and then it retraced, and then we had so like a zigzag is a 535. So we have the 5, the 3 would be the anchored V, would be the ABC, and then we had the 5 coming back down. And so this is kind of like it had this deep or sharp 4 here that came out like this. And this was where we had this liquidity grab up on top, or this sweep, or whatever you want to call it, where it took out the stops on the shorts. And so and then it retraced through here, and this time it fell through the ice, as you see. Now this happened about a month ago. And so even like the vertical bar volumes also jibing, as I'll show you when we get to the current. And then we had this sell off, and that constituted the 5 wave here. And so this was the end of the February 4 fractal, and it ended here after going back through the ice. This would be the ice location. I just got rid of it to not clutter the chart so much when I went to show you these things. But this would be the fall through, the ice fall through. And then under there we had consolidation, but the normal place for the price action from this point on, from February 5th on, was beneath the ice. So the bears were in control. At this point, we just see the, the throw over coming up, and then immediately price action is pushed back down. We just see the tops coming up. So the top part obviously is the overbought, and then beneath the anchored VWAP is the oversold. So we see that, and it's like gradually descending. Eventually, these lows get mitigated. All right, now, fast forward to where we are, what pertains to us, because that's what we care about now, because we want to make money possibly if there's a short. If there's a short opportunity, we can cash in on it. I personally don't short, but many in my group do, and so they're having a lot of fun right now. Why don't you join us? If you're in the crypto and you're serious about making money, you're serious about making serious money, check out our group. I keep it extremely affordable. And so, yeah, you'll make the membership fee back in spades, believe me, in the first few trades. So anyway, we had this ABC here, not as deep, or rather, the B didn't go as deep as it did a month ago. But it's still an ABC, clear. We went through the creek. Remember, we jumped through the creek here. And same thing, so that would be here. Jump through the creek, and then we had this horn top, same kind of pattern. The waves are the same, the deviations are different, but the waves themselves are the same. They have the same general trajectory. And then we had the 5 coming down. So again, we have a zigzag. We have a 5, a 3, and a 5, okay? So it's a legit zigzag. Then it comes down, and here is our 3, here's where the 3 ends. Here's where the 3 ended on the 4th of February of last month, and here's where the 3rd ended. The 3rd wave ended. It ended on the earlier today. Now I have this on the 30-minute, and this one is on the 10-minute. So this is playing out pretty fast. We have the 3 and now the 4, and we see this 4 here playing out. And this 4 is this. Now this is slightly on an incline here. It's almost like a wedge almost. And then right at the end we had this UTAD, or this kind of like a bull trap at the end. And then we had the steep sell-off, and as you can see, we had the same sort of pattern playing out. Now notice this is the only difference is in the February 3rd fractal, it happened, this all played out above the ice. Here's the ice barrier here. This is all playing out or transpiring above the ice, and where we are today, we are beneath the ice. Now remember, the ice, the anchored VWAP, is anchored to the same places in both fractals. So yeah, so this is even more bearish than it was a month ago, if you ask me. And then we came down here, and so now we had this UTAD. Here's the UTAD in today's price action schematic playing out. And I hypothesize that this is the end of the 4 wave and the beginning of the 5th. We have a large upper shadow here coming in the in supply, and we look at what's important is you look at the volume. Look at the volume metrics. Look at this. This is average to below average demand for this pump, and the second demand bar is slightly reduced. So that's not good for a pump. That usually kind of clues us in that it's just a liquidity raid and that they're coming back down. So, and indeed that looks like what's happening here. That's certainly what happened a month ago. And so we see here, we look at this, the pump or the rally for this four wave, and we look at the corresponding demand, and we see that it was also kind of low. Remember, this is this one here, not this one. This one is this one here. This is what corresponds to it, and then we had this large upper shadow on this bear candle, and same thing here. See this lower shadow on this bear candle, almost right in line with this this above average demand here, which actually signals weakness. This also clues me in that to watch out for a trap, that a trap is coming, that a bull trap is coming. When you see this magnitude of buying pressure and then the price hardly moves, or you have this super long upper shadow, that's not good. It means anything above this line here is exaggerated value. It's bogus value. They're just pumping it. They're manufacturing at this point to drive up the price, but the value is really non-existent, and it's just to take out the stops up there because everyone knows that it's probably going down. So they've set their shorts up here, and so the market makers, the ones with the real muscle to move this thing, goes and just pumps it all the way up to blow out the stops, and then they bring it down. That's exactly what they did here. So that's the fractals are the fractals, man. What happens in the micro plays out in the macro, and price repeats itself for the most part, unless you get a black swan event or some cataclysmic event happens that just erases all the TA and you start over. These things are pretty reliable, pretty trustworthy. Even if this keeps going up, this could actually go all the way up, depending on FOMO, all the way up to the ice, try to cross over the ice. But we have this mighty ice barrier above us. And so if we don't get stopped out at this minor liquidity void at like 86 Gs, 86.6, then I'm pretty sure that the ice is going to stop us out because there's no value. And this proved it here. This very large, above average volume spike in demand. So this is totally unsubstantiated, this pump right now. So you just got to know, you got to be able to read the Machiavellian intentions of the market maker, and I'll teach you how to do that. Check us out. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Never miss another update. I don't get to upload videos as much as I bring charts into my Discord group. So if you're plugged into the Discord group, you got me. I'm kind of ever present there, and so and I'll answer your questions, and I'll share my I'll share a lot of charts like this, not just Bitcoin. Right now we're kind of taking a hiatus on the alts because the center stage is Bitcoin, and I think Bitcoin is the most important thing. So wherever Bitcoin goes, it's going to determine the overall climate of the crypto market. To an extent, there are alts like XRP and Cardano and others that kind of spin off in their own orbits and do their own things, but eventually they all fall back down with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down or if Bitcoin goes up, eventually they'll rally. So I'm waiting. We're basically monitoring Bitcoin. We're waiting for Bitcoin to stabilize, and once Bitcoin stabilizes, then we can kind of start doing technical analysis now in anticipation for hopefully an alt season that's going to come. And that's when I'll start putting out my swing charts on the altcoins. And boy, those get juicy. Those are lucrative. You make a lot of money there. So, all right, check us out if you haven't. Be safe in the markets. None of what I say is financial advice. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for your encouragement. And I look forward to hearing from some of you in the comments and maybe seeing you in the Discord group. That's all I got. All right, guys, I got to run. I got stuff to do today. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.